We want sensory overload. I want all the color, all the taste, all the touch. Bring it on me. Can Color Factory deliver? Today we're gonna find out.
Hello, Meepers! Today, we're checking out the Color Factory in Chicago. For those new to our channel, James and I are suckers for experiential and introverted attractions, like the time that we dined in complete darkness in Toronto, or when we visited Area 15 in Vegas, which was a delightful sensory explosion at every turn. So when James and I visited Chicago, we decided to seek out uniquely immersive and sensory-rich attractions throughout the area. Our first stop? Color Factory Chicago. Color Factory's website says it's a self-guided walkthrough adventure filled with multiple art exhibits, interactive rooms, and vibrant installations, all centered around color and emotion in the many shades of Chicago. From the blue stripes of its iconic flag to the green pickles atop a Chicago dog. It promises a joyful, multi-sensory experience that blends art, design, and curiosity. But does it actually deliver on all 5 senses? In this video, we'll take you through what senses Color Factory truly engages, and which ones are maybe more subtle. Does the experience feel intentional, immersive, and thoughtfully designed? How crowded or overwhelming it feels, especially for introverts? And whether we think Color Factory is worth it or not. We also want to make it clear that this video is not sponsored by Color Factory or anyone else. We paid for the tickets ourselves, and these opinions are 100% based on our own genuine experience that we had at Color Factory Chicago. And with that, off we go. Color Factory is located on the bottom level of the Willis Tower, which is right in the heart of downtown Chicago.
Got Sky Deck, Color Factory, so let's go down. Come on, let's leave.
Go on down the escalators and the main entrance is right there. They've got these pretty colorful slats and you can walk in, and they've got these benches and stuff that's kind of on display to buy your tickets. And then you go through the official entrance for Color Factory. This has their coat check and their color cafe. There were some hanging ribbons that were really pretty on display that I think were meant to simulate the Chicago skyline and some of the colors. One of the exhibits that was on display in the official entrance was called the Shades of Chi-Town. What it was like is there were sort of different colors, circles and dots and mirrors that had pictures behind them. You could look through and peek and you could see a picture of something in Chicago.
You can see the bicycle.
We thought that was a nice way to walk on in and get some pictures and get to know Chicago a little better. Once you're ready to leave that main entrance, coat check, Shades of Chi-Town area, you go down this sort of person-shaped rainbow tunnel.
Ooh, cookie clairvoyance, what's that?
The first thing that we noticed is this room had fortune cookies. And they were in different shades of colors all across the rainbow.
What one do we want? Do we want a pink, a purple? Ooh, you might need to eat a blue one just to, coordinate.
Out of the blue, you'll find yourself reconnecting with someone you knew. Lucky hue, brownstone brown.
And I grabbed a purple one.
Align your passion with your purpose, and you will reap sweet benefits. Lucky hue, bicycle wheel blue.
I just thought that was cool. A nice way to walk in and immediately, boom, you're assaulted with a very direct sensory experience. It was time to move on to the next room. This room really threw us off as soon as we walked into it. There's a sign that says perspective party, and it turned out to be very true.
Where are we? 7 foot, 8 foot. I love the Beetlejuice soundtrack while we're alone in this creepy space.
There was copyrighted music that was being played in most of the rooms, so please excuse us if we have to lower it or remove it in post.
Look at this! I think I can walk through this.
I loved this room. There were so many interesting spaces to crawl into, or climb up onto, to duck into. Nothing was as it seems. All your perspective is thrown off, and you don't even really know where you are. And James is like, I have no idea where you actually went. I'm just gonna have to try and follow your voice.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
That's a mirror. I can't go through here.
Yeah, I'm getting...
Oh, nope, I can't. I can go through here, but there's a mirror right here.
But then we found a room of mirrors in the mirror room.
Oh, it's
It's like mirrors within mirrors. They weren't joking when they said mirror maze. It absolutely focuses on vision. You look and you're like, oh, I can go there, and that's a wall. Or you're like, oh, I can't walk through that, and then you realize you can. We were having a great time, but we knew we needed to move on. What's the next room? Like, well, we had to find the door. first. We had to figure out how we could even get out. Once we found out how to get out, we walked into a room filled with horns.
It's this bright noise. I hear it.
The purple one.
The horns were motion censored. So when we walked in, it was completely silent. We didn't know what to expect. But a split second later, we were filled with joy.
They're so happy. Now they're farting a little bit. Oh, they're happy that they're farting.
Although this was definitely an auditory experience, it was activated by motion.
I do hear the bongos.
Each horn played a different sound or timbre, and it was associated with the color of the horn. If you could pick a sound for your favorite color, what would it be? The written display for the horns encourages you to pay attention to any emotions that surface.
This one makes me feel inquisitive. Ooh, adventure.
That was pretty cool. There's a hallway after the horns that explains how they work and some of the logic behind them and the association between hearing and seeing.
The sound you heard coming from each green horn was inspired by multimedia art and music of Illinois native Laurie Anderson. The green horns were humans singing.
So my auditory senses were tickled. After the horns, we moved on to the next exhibit, which is called Flavorama. They labeled this the first movie theater for your mouth, because what we ended up doing here is we were given a candy that was essentially colorless and told to taste it and assign it a color and a flavor.
Oh, what a pretty room, too.
I love this because we eat with our eyes, right? So we have to decide what color do we taste. This is a sensory experience for your eyes and your tongue as a combo.
This was more challenging than you would have thought.
1000%.
Oh, it looks yellow.
What if it tastes like earwax? What is that? I feel like I tasted a pink or a purple, maybe.
All right, so let's see what mine's like.
Yeah. Does it look the same as mine? I'm curious.
It does. Smells like old people candle. Cheers.
Cheers. We were so wrong with our flavor and color, and they have a display where you can see all of the colors and flavor options.
We were number one.
Oh, interesting. Very cool.
That's really cool. Flavorama was very creative and interesting. I like that. After Flavorama, we moved into the next room, which was what we're going to call the floating ballroom. This room was filled with floating balls due to air currents with different spots throughout the space, and each one was vibrantly painted in stripes to throw off your visual perspective. There was poetry on the floor written by kids, and that was called Immersed in Verses.
Sad is running out of talkies.
And that's true. Not only was this room fun and immersive, it had different segments in it, so it wasn't just one big open space. It allowed different people to go to different areas and engage in the space without really being on top of each other. It also felt more kid-friendly and encouraged me to feel more like a kid. We greatly enjoyed this room. I liked that a lot. I thought it was fun. Once we were done with the floating balls room, we moved into the next room, the confetti room.
I think this is the confetti room. Yes, 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 yes it is. Yes it is. Let's go.
This was a room where confetti was constantly falling from the ceiling. You see the confetti, you can feel the confetti. You can also taste the confetti, which I wouldn't recommend.
It tastes like, it tastes awful.
It doesn't taste good, but it is a sensory experience.
The other thing about this space is that there was taffy that was available to eat.
And there's some blueberry taffy. What's a sensory experience? It's taking over my mouth and my cheeks.
Although you could taste the confetti, we would not recommend that. We would recommend you taste the taffy instead. There are these photo opportunities all throughout Color Factory in the different rooms. And there are these little cards that you can grab, and they have these QR codes on the back of them. So just take your QR code, dink. So we have pictures and video of us looking up and having confetti falling into our faces and into our mouths. After the confetti room, we moved on to the horoscope room. This is a room that has every birthday with its own horoscope and unique color that's assigned to it. This was a fun space because it was very colorful and it felt personal. And they want to ask, what does your birthday color say about you?
They're out of my birthday. Do you have any on yours? You're out. Yep. We're both out.
There weren't any cards left hanging, so neither of us could grab a birthday card. We're not really horoscope people, but it's certainly entertaining. Moving on from the horoscope room, we entered this rectangular room, and it turned out to be a complimentary compliments space. What even is that?
So you're going to be splitting up, one going that way and one going this way. Just sit across from each other. There'll be headphones you put on and a white button you both press. That's going to start playing the audio explain what they're coming to.
And they have instructions for kind of what to do and when to do it. Draw, color. You can draw the person across from you, how they look, and colors that make you think of them.
Don't look down.
I'm guesstimating.
Nope. They also have little compliment cards that were there. You know, stuff that said things like, "You're the bee's knees." So we were passing little cards back and forth, and it felt nice. We felt connected even though we were split apart. Even though there were a few other people in the complimentary compliments space, they're cordoned off in a way, kind of like a 9-to-5 cubicle. So James and I felt like it was just the two of us, even though we had some people around us. After you leave the complimentary compliment space, James and I exited into the same room from different exits. This was just sort of a transitional space into the next exhibit, but it was covered in all of the different compliments and quotes.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You're the bee's knees.
Oh, am I the bee's knees?
Quotes all over the wall to kind of make you feel complimented or happy or beautiful or inspired.
Yeah, I'd fight a shark for you.
You really float my boat.
You're one in a melon. You're the pepperoni to my deep dish pizza.
After leaving the compliment transition space, the next exhibit was a light gradient remix. This was an opportunity to pass through rooms and just see different colors mixing in real time.
We're gonna notice how colors merge and mix to form different shades, and even completely new colors. Get ready to get lost in the mix. Oh yeah.
And the rooms were all mirrored, which was interesting because you see the colors and it almost feels infinite.
It does feel warm and soft, even though these are bright neon lights.
It was fascinating to kind of pass through and see what colors made me feel certain emotions.
Oh, these colors are beautiful.
Oh, it's like a sauna almost.
Right? It's like hot and cold.
Some colors emitted a sense of coolness, while others gave off soft vibes.
This feels cooler over here.
Certain colors and tones actually hurt my eyes, while others were more sensitive and pleasing.
This is a more relaxing room, even though it is kind of neon. It's a little more pleasing and easy on the eyes.
I appreciated the light gradient remix, but it didn't feel as immersive or it didn't feel as interactive.
The only sense I'm really experiencing is visual, both in the mirrors and the light, and then some music.
There wasn't anything to really touch or climb up on or taste or interact with in any way. We appreciated that, but it was also a nice reminder that not every sensory experience has to be insanely sensory. After the light gradient remix, the next exhibit was Night Woods. We walked into this space and immediately we were in awe of it. This exhibit was a forest of satin ribbons that replicates lines of purple and blue and green.
All right, I'm going in.
And there are all these ribbons that are hanging from the ceiling.
Where am I?
And they've got some lights that are kind of shining through a little bit like moonlight. When you hear the music, you see the colors.
Wow, it's so whimsical. It's so pretty.
I almost feel underwater.
This was an immersive environment that was meant to simulate sound-to-color synesthesia.
Night Woods by Ann Patterson. Synesthesia, which is when certain sounds cause her to visualize shapes and colors. When she hears this music, she sees purple, blue, and green like this.
It filled me with a sense of wonder and happiness and delight and curiosity. I loved how the ribbons looked and how they felt.
I'm almost like engulfed in the Joanne fabrics.
I just wanted to run through them like a kid running through like a wheat field. It just felt so fun, relaxing, and exhilarating at the same time.
I'm gonna pull a Homer Simpson.
I was even lying on the floor, like kicking my feet, looking up at the ceiling. I gotta say, Night Woods was one of my favorite exhibits in all of Color Factory Chicago, if not my favorite.
It's just very dynamic, and it's exciting and adventurous, but also there's something peaceful about it here.
The next exhibit is the Ball Pit.
Oh, nice and bright.
The Ball Pit is pretty infamous for Color Factory, and it's on a lot of their marketing. So if you want to go into the Ball Pit, you can take off your shoes or put your purse or your coat or other things into a cubby and then dive into the Ball Pit.
Here we go.
You'll also notice multiple slides that you can go down and enjoy. They aren't just for children.
Are we ready for this?
James and I went down each one multiple times, and like many parts of Color Factory, it made us feel like kids again. The ball pit is made up of multiple shades of greens, and that's because they wanted to paint the town green in honor of the city's history, and the mural against the wall was hand-painted by artist Adrian K. Wong on travertine stone that was preserved from the original Sears Tower. As the placard said, green looks good on you, Chicago. There are also 2 little kiosks on each side of the ball pit. One says surprise, that has some little souvenirs that you could maybe pick up if you wanted, and then the other one says sweet, and that's where you can get your little ice cream treat.
Nice way to end the ball pit experience.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next exhibit, which ended up being the last exhibit, is Chromarama, which is like a smell-o-vision. This exhibit pairs scents with colors to further explore the link between sight and smell.
Do you want to build a snowman? That one smells good. Like a snow cone.
So there were plenty of things that you could read the description, be like, ooh, what's this gonna smell like? And press your nose up on. Things like, violet, you're turning violet, Violet. Or the passenger side of your best friend's ride.
Yes.
Yeah?
That.
Really?
And some Chicago specialties like Garrett's popcorn,
This is Garrett's right here.
a Chicago dog, or a pepperoni deep dish pizza.
Cheese, please. I just went like right up in there. I love cheese. It doesn't smell like pizza. I wish it did. It doesn't.
Some scents were wonderful, accurate, and on the nose,
It does smell chocolatey. Yum.
while others were straight up unpleasant. Nevertheless, James and I agreed that Chromarama was a fun bookend to this sensational experience, and my nose was satisfied.
Ball factory? Check.
Indeed.
Overall, Color Factory really delivered.
We had an excellent time. It was totally worth it. And personally, it was sensational. It really did tickle all the senses. Yeah.
Seeing all the kids and seeing all the adults having fun was a really cool thing
It was.
to see.
Yeah, definitely family friendly.
Family friendly, but also it brings out the inner child in everybody.
I have an inner child that lives with me constantly. So today was a day where she got to get out and play, and that makes me and her very happy.
It wasn't just about looking at color, it was about experiencing it. Every room felt intentional, and we genuinely felt like all 5 senses were thoughtfully woven into the journey in fun and creative ways. Some exhibits were more direct and obvious about their sensory purpose, and even blended some senses together at times, like sight and hearing with color and sounds for the horns. And Flavorama mixed sight and taste with color and flavor associations, while others were a little more subdued, like the Gradient Remix or the Horoscope Room. Not only was it enjoyable and stimulating, but it also heightened our awareness of our senses and the world around us and how everything is connected, including all of our senses. We would recommend Color Factory to fellow introverts and sensory seekers alike. There were moments that felt calm and peaceful, and other moments that were more busy and energetic, so that's something to keep in mind. For us, it was absolutely worth it for sensory-seeking introverts. But our sensory adventure in Chicago isn't over yet,
The next thing we're gonna do is going to be Museum of Illusion.
where things get a little stranger and a lot more focused on perception and visual play, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching and being sensational with us. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. And until next time, happy meeping!
Like a cat.
Bye, Color Factory!